Do you ever feel like the modern world is simply too loud? We wake up every morning to a relentless flood of digital information. Bright notifications light up our screens before we even leave our beds. We carry the heavy weight of global crises, economic uncertainty, and deep personal anxieties on our tired shoulders. It often feels as though we are constantly reacting to endless external demands. We are merely surviving the day rather than truly living in it. This constant state of mental exhaustion is not a sign of personal failure. It is the natural psychological consequence of living in a hyper-connected, deeply fractured environment. We desperately try to find lasting peace by constantly changing our external circumstances. We buy new things, we seek different jobs, and we chase new relationships. Yet, the underlying baseline level of anxiety always seems to quietly return. The profound philosophical truth is that peace cannot be purchased or geographically relocated. Only true sanctuary exists entirely within the quiet walls of your own mind. Today, we will explore a philosophy designed specifically for times of great chaos. We will carefully open an ancient text that was never even meant to be published. Nearly 2,000 years ago, the most powerful man in the known Western world sat alone in his cold military tent. His name was Marcus Aurelius, the absolute emperor of the vast Roman Empire. He possessed ultimate political authority and unimaginable personal wealth. He could command massive armies to move with a single spoken word. Yet, his daily life was far from a peaceful, luxurious royal retreat. He spent the last decade of his reign desperately battling harsh northern tribes on the freezing Germanic frontier. His vast empire was ravaged by the Antonine Plague, a brutal ancient pandemic that tragically killed millions of his citizens. He faced constant political deception and betrayal, even from his closest and most trusted generals. Amidst this unimaginable stress and continuous deep sorrow, the emperor did a truly remarkable thing. He faithfully wrote a private, personal diary. He did not write to complain openly about his heavy burdens or to curse his many enemies. He wrote entirely to discipline his own mind. He wrote to remind himself of how to remain a good, virtuous man when the world demanded otherwise. This collection of raw, late-night personal reflections was never intended for public eyes. Today, we know this remarkable journal simply as Meditations. It remains the greatest surviving handbook for mastering human resilience. The central defining pillar of his entire philosophy rests on a very simple but radical psychological distinction. We must clearly and brutally divide the world into two distinct categories: things we can control and things we cannot. We cannot control the harsh winter weather, the sudden collapse of global financial markets, or the cruel and unfair opinions of other people. Marcus Aurelius realized that focusing our limited daily energy on these completely uncontrollable external forces is the root cause of human misery. Becoming violently angry at a sudden storm does not stop the heavy rain, it only ruins your own internal peace. What we can absolutely control, however, is our own considered response. We independently control our core values, our deliberate daily actions, and our internal cognitive judgments. The wise emperor famously wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He deeply believed that events themselves are entirely emotionally neutral. A delayed airline flight, or a lost corporate promotion, is neither inherently good nor bad in nature. It is only our own internal judgment of the event that creates our deep suffering. If we consciously remove the judgment that we have been fundamentally harmed, the painful feeling of harm immediately disappears. This is the ultimate Stoic superpower. It is the profound ability to stand completely firm in the absolute center of a hurricane. How can we actually apply this ancient Roman wisdom to our overstimulated, exhausted modern lives? The very first crucial step is to aggressively audit your daily intellectual inputs. Every single piece of breaking news, office gossip, and social media outrage you consume directly affects your fragile inner tranquility. Marcus Aurelius advised us to discard all unnecessary assumptions. When an angry colleague sends a rude corporate email, the common modern reflex is to immediately type a defensive, highly emotional response. The Stoic approach requires a deliberate, powerful pause. You must actively separate the objective fact from your subjective interpretation. The objective fact is simply that words were typed on a screen. The interpretation that you have been personally insulted is an optional choice you are making. Another extremely powerful practice is the quiet morning reflection. Before engaging with the chaotic outside world, take 5 quiet minutes to prepare your mind. Logically anticipate that you will encounter difficult people, traffic jams, and frustrating delays today. Mentally rehearsing these exact scenarios in advance, they lose their dark power to shock you when they inevitably occur. You effectively transform everyday annoyances from personal attacks into predictable elements of basic human nature. This simple mental shift creates an incredible sense of deep emotional freedom. We spend so much of our painfully short lives trying to control the completely uncontrollable tides of the ocean. We exhaust our limited energy fighting against the weather, the economy, and the complex minds of others. The profound wisdom of Marcus Aurelius teaches us to stop fighting the raging storm and instead reinforce the solid walls of our own inner citadel. You are not required to have a loud emotional opinion on every single negative event that happens in the wider world. You are fully allowed to simply observe the chaos and politely decline to participate. In a deeply distracted and anxious world, a calm and focused mind is the ultimate form of rebellion. Your focused attention is your most valuable remaining life asset. Do not give it away freely to people and digital algorithms that profit directly from your anxiety. As you move forward through the rest of your busy week, I invite you to carry this stoic armor with you. When the noise outside becomes unexpectedly and unbearably loud, close your eyes and remember the lonely emperor sitting in his quiet tent. Remember that true strength is not loud, frantic, or aggressive. True strength is quiet, intellectually disciplined, and remarkably resilient to the winds of fate. Thank you for taking this rare moment to step away from the noise with us here at BookDream. If this quiet reflection brought you a moment of genuine peace today, please subscribe so we can continue this journey together. Until we meet again, guard your mind carefully and live deeply.